Kidra.
Kidra.
Okay.
Yeah. Just put a K where the X is, and that's kind of what we've come up with. It's actually, if you pronounced it correctly, it would have like a click from like an African language. So
what does it mean?
I'm not sure. But it's named. They got it from when they've gone down to Africa for their photo safaris and stuff. So they invited some of the guides and stuff to Derby this year. So we were asking them, trying to get to pronounce, and the guy that was born there, he's actually a native. He said, well, to correctly pronounce it, we're not going there. So, Kidra is kind of what the guides have told us and how they say it down there for the outfit. So, but she's doing great. I think we were came up a little short last time. We didn't want to hit the panic button after the La Troyenne, so we kind of just eased her back into training, just making sure there wasn't a missing piece that we couldn't recognize, and then we landed on, just surface that day. She trained very forwardly into the last race, but we didn't do a lot with her, so I think, that was more my mistake, but just didn't want to overdo things going into it, and certainly we were hoping on maybe finding a lighter spot for her, and then obviously Bill Mott's filly, who knows how good she's going to be. So we were very happy with the way she ran, and then coming into this, we've turned the screws and kind of getting back on track of what we thought would be a powerful year for her, and I think if we can get this one done, it'll kind of put us where we want to be, back in the conversation as, maybe a leader in the division once we face the others again, and, hopefully, the weather's a little dicey this weekend. I don't know what they're going to do, but as long as the rain stays away, we'll run whenever they run.
She had such a strong finish to the season last year. So did that last run in the Shawnee give you confidence that that filly's still in there after the La Troyenne?
Yeah, absolutely. And all the training going into the La Troyenne signaled that she was only going to be better at 4 than she was at 3, and she's continued to mature physically and mentally, and just a horse that kind of loves the game, and the breezes indicate that she's as good as ever, so I think we're really excited about this weekend.
If you get a good race that you're pleased, whether you win or not, but she runs well, where do you see her expectations?
I'd have to think we point towards the Personal Ensign at the end of towards the end of the Saratoga meet. She does well up there, and that's kind of where they're all headed. The ones like her in the barn. So I think if we do win it or run back to our form of last year, you got to butt heads with them at some point. So, year-end goals, the Breeders' Cup, and Grade 1s kind of fall underneath that. So I think that would be the next target, given everything goes right. She kind of has a bit of a sassy attitude every now and then, but loves to go out there and work. But she's very easy to handle as far as her gallops. She rates very well. Is kind to herself. And she's learned that too. She kind of wanted to be a little aggressive, especially in breezing with company. But as she's gotten older, that was what we did a couple works back. Set her off company, and she just waited until she was cued and punched on. So I think it helps that you can try and freshen her in between races. We compare her to Played Hard, our horse that we had before that was able to win the Grade 1 La Troyenne, and she was tough. She every day went out there and just trained almost too hard, and I think the longevity of a horse is easier when they're cooperative and what you want to do with them, not necessarily what they want to do.
You had Played Hard, kind of your first Grade 1 winner, right? And now you have this filly here. Can you just kind of speak about your relationship with Mr. Rigney, and kind of now that you're starting to get horses like this, where you see that going forward?
It's just a game changer when you get athletes like those horses. They're just, you learn a lot from them, and then it puts you in a position in the game to compete at the top level where I think everyone dreams to do it, and then once it's reality, it's just, you're setting a new bar, so I think everything else kind of has a new standard to it, and you have to pinch yourself sometimes and realize that it's still a tough game, and even though they're great athletes, you're going to have rough times and stuff. So I think, with the success we've had in the last few years, it's every now and then you'll get those moments when it's reality and you're not winning at a really good clip or something like that. You just have to recognize that it's you know, it's all still a lot better than it used to be. So it's kind of.
You're one of the very few private stables. I mean, I can't think of another one in
One
Kentucky.
here was Sagamore a couple years ago. It seemed like they were pretty much, you know, Stanley Huff, and once they left, I think we're about all that's left around here. And it's, you know, I definitely wake up every morning counting my blessings. It's a very unique situation, but it's a great opportunity for me, and the Rigneys are great people, and they treat us well, and you know, it's one of those things that you really couldn't write it up more perfect, and we're just very blessed to be in the position I am. And you know, now that we added Mr. Moynihan selecting our horses a few years ago, it's all come together as far as the athletes, and it's makes the game a lot easier to kind of play at the top level, even though it's, you know, you still have to have everything go right, but you know, as a whole, you're dealing with a lot better horses, and it's more fun. And just tremendous blessing in my life that he's taken me places, and he's provided me with just such great opportunity that, you know, I truly realize how lucky I am, and extremely grateful.
And he stayed the course.
Absolutely.
You know, with the years when he was putting out a fair amount of money and not having a lot of returns, and then you got, you know, John Moynihan buying.
Yeah, that's, you know, the key's the horse, and I think he realized that, and instead of finding a new trainer, he stuck with me and the team, and it's kind of come full circle now. So it's nice to have that support, and I think everybody else in the industry that was kind of chirping his ear recognizes it now, and you know, I think hopefully he sets a good example for some other owners, that it's really, you know, all these people back here doing their best, working hard, trying to win races, but it's hard to do, and I think if anything, maybe he'll set a good example for others, but certainly, you know, a blessing for me.